Well, it's almost curtains down on a historic election in the state of Maharashtra, and the NDA has performed better than expected as per exit polls. The BJP has managed to cross the 120 mark on its own. NDA on course to win 220 seats. The three leaders in the Mahayuti alliance, Eknath Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis, Ajit Pawar, they have managed to help the NDA cross the finish line and in a spectacular manner. It has been a debacle for the India alliance as they've just landed up with about 62 seats. We're still seeing counting in many of the seats, so a larger picture will only come out in a few hours from now. But in all regions across Maharashtra, be it Marathwada, be it Western Maharashtra, be it Vidarbha, it is the NDA which has performed very well, and a number of factors there. The Ladki Behan Yojana, many analysts are saying it is the scheme for women that had been launched by the Maharashtra government, by the NDA government, that has really helped them win the election and cross the finish line. Also, announcements regarding farmers that have helped in this election. Yes, there were rebellions in both parties on different seats, but it seems that the NDA has managed to handle this rebellion very well. There is clamour now for Devendra Fadnavis to be made the chief minister. The Shinde camp is saying that Eknath Shinde deserves to be the CM because it was under his leadership that this election was fought. Let me go across to our guests and reporters. First, Santya Gora is joining us. Santya, what's happening there? Is the BJP crediting this victory to the Ladki Behan scheme, the women of Maharashtra?
Yes, Parikshit, see, welfare schemes like Ladki Bahin obviously deserve a lot of credit here. So BJP is right in attributing its success to the welfare scheme. But they are not limiting themselves to that. They are obviously talking about that how the 2019 alliance of Uddhav Thackeray, Congress and Sharad Pawar was unholy, and this mandate has proven that. Remember in 2019 also the mandate was actually, public gave its mandate to the Saffron Alliance, which was BJP and the undivided Shiv Sena at that time. So that's what BJP is saying. It's a combination of multiple factors, and that's what BJP and other allies of Mahayuti are also acknowledging. Welfare schemes like Ladki Bahin being the topmost of them. The role that the RSS played is an important one, the infrastructure development, because, for example, because I've been talking about the way BJP decentralized these elections. We're talking about it since morning. So, for example, there were multiple issues. Congress largely stuck to its Lok Sabha narrative that was constitution related. This time also they were talking about issues like caste censors and, other central issues which really did not resonate with the people of Maharashtra in the local elections. Also, Mahavikas Aghadi put a lot of emphasis on the sympathy wave, on the sympathy towards Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar, and especially Uddhav Thackeray's faction focused a lot on the traitor allegation which they have been, leveling against Shinde Sena's faction. During Lok Sabha, Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar did get benefit of the sympathy wave factor, but this election, the state assembly election, has proved that there is an expiry date to that also. RSS role extremely important. They countered Congress's narrative that constitution will be changed by the BJP. So RSS successfully countered that narrative and brought the Dalit Hindus back to the BJP's corner, and they have voted for the BJP. And there are other factors as well. For example, Maratha reservation was that one issue. Mahavikas Aghadi was banking too much on this particular factor. This is how BJP countered that narrative. They once again, came up with their formula of Madhav, that is Mali, Dhangar and Vanjari, and the OBC vote consolidation against Maratha votes is something which helped BJP a lot. They decentralized the elections where Congress was talking about caste censors and how, a constitution can be changed and all of that. BJP and Mahayuti allies went among the people and told that we are going to give you 1500 rupees for the women of your house. We are going to give you Ladki Bahin, Ladka Bhau benefits. If you are in a city like Mumbai, we have made coastal road for you. We have made MTHL for you. And the negative aspects of those projects, because there are some when it comes to the planning and execution, that is something MVA couldn't really convince people on, and the result is right in front of our eyes. Not announcing Uddhav Thackeray as their CM candidate also cost MVA a lot of votes, because Uddhav Thackeray's face could have announcing Uddhav Thackeray as the CM could have helped them in multiple ways. First of all, the whole infighting situation, they would have been able to hide it had they announced Uddhav Thackeray as their CM candidate. Uddhav Thackeray, by the work he did during COVID, earned a lot of goodwill, a good name for himself. They could have cashed in on that particular thing. They couldn't do that. MVA couldn't mobilize the voters as much as the Mahayuti alliance did. Of course, they tried to bring the voters out of their houses on the voting day, but the way RSS and other stakeholders of Mahayuti, they were aggressively campaigning till the last moment. That is something which clearly played a role. And this election actually happened in multiple phases.
Thank you so much for wrapping up
by
the
that,
mood on the ground. Let me also go quickly across to Mayuresh, who's been joining us. Mayuresh, I believe you are outside Ajit Pawar's residence. Give us a quick sense of what's happening. Are there some meetings of the alliance expected? What about the swearing-in ceremony? What is expected in the state? Any word from Prime Minister Modi? Has the top leadership of the BJP and Prime Minister congratulated the leaders?
So Parikshit, I just met Ajit Pawar and he is right now sitting inside with his other party colleagues, that is Praful Patel and Sunil Tatkare. So Ajit Pawar just told us that he got a call from Amit Shah and he congratulated Ajit Pawar, and he told Ajit Pawar this is kind of a landslide victory that no one has expected, this kind of a landslide victory. Ajit Pawar also told that tomorrow there will be a CLP meeting of his party. In that meeting, 11 AM, that meeting will happen. In that they will elect the CLP leader. And NCP is hopeful that either on the 25th or 26th of Jan, the swearing in should happen. That hectic parley, there will not be any hectic parleys because everything is clear and they have got a clear mandate. But as Sandhya was telling us, there are three factors in this entire election which played a crucial role. One was a Ladki bid, obviously, because a lot of women, more than 2 crore women, have got the direct benefit of 7,500 each in their account. Second was the basically farmers issue, especially soybean and cotton farmers. But for that also the NCP and this Mahayuti government had given them a kind of a subsidy in electricity and in solar pumps also. And third most important thing was the caste factor, of which was basically we saw in Lok Sabha Maratha versus OBC. But this time Zarange Patil didn't do a very aggressive campaign. Rather, he had said that I will put my candidates, but at the last moment he withdrew all his candidates. So that's why that polarization basically didn't happen. And as I said, that this time if you see in rural areas there were long queues. We saw in many districts like Ahmednagar, in Pathardi, and many districts we saw long queues in rural areas where people were there till 6:30, 7:15 also, because they were standing in the queue before 6. So this was also a good turnout, was also one of the reasons that this Mahayuti government has got the thumping majority. And on the contrary, that Congress and Mahavikas Aghadi needs to basically introspect that what basically went wrong, because they were saying that we are raising the issues which matters to people, but if people are not supported them, then certainly it is a cause of concern for them to introspect and to do this introspection and come to the point that what exactly went wrong in this particular election. Back to you, Parikshit.
Okay, let me now focus on Jharkhand. Arunima is also joining us from Ranchi, and she's joining us from the residence of Hemant Soren, I believe. In Jharkhand, the India Alliance is winning the election yet again. They've comfortably crossed the halfway mark. They are at 54 right now, 6 seats more than the last assembly election, and they've won consistently all across the state. And what we've also heard, that there was a consolidation of tribal votes in their favor. What's worked here in Jharkhand, Arunima, and do you feel that again it was the schemes that the government had launched for women which have worked? Were women the X factor in this election?
Parikshit, I'm afraid I can't hear you very clearly because there's lots of surround sound here. But if it is the Mahila factor that you are talking about, I definitely think the Mahila factor played a role. We've seen this trend. Read the Ladli Behna Yojana that Shivraj Singh Chauhan started, translating into the Ladki Bahini Yojana in Maharashtra or the Mahila Samman Yojana here in Jharkhand. Cash in the account of the women voters and ensuring that the installments reach much before elections begin. That seems to be the success mantra right now for political parties. Mahila voters are no longer depending on the male heads of the family, be it their husband or father or brother, to decide who their political choice would be. And the same thing is being seen in Jharkhand as well. Mahila voters here in Jharkhand came out, especially in rural Jharkhand, in droves. And there was a lot of speculation that 4% increase in Mahila voter, who will it benefit? Now the answer is clear. They have completely given the thumbs up to Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, and added to that is that X factor of Kalpana Soren. Kalpana Soren, the way she connected with the women at block level meetings, no huge rallies, but block level small meetings where she connected with them, spoke about their issues, promised to resolve them. Kalpana herself was in a very tight fight in her own constituency, but it is being acknowledged by the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha supporters that Kalpana has proven to be the perfect queen for comeback king Hemant Soren.
All right. Thanks very much, Arunima, for joining us with all those important updates. Let me now go across to our guests, Ninad Seth and Sudhir Suryavanshi joining us. Sudhir Suryavanshi, what's worked for the BJP in Maharashtra? Since morning, we've been hearing that it is the RSS effort which has really worked on the ground. But how do you think the BJP, Prime Minister Modi, Amit Shah have handled this election differently compared to previous elections? Sudhir.
Parikshit, this election, after the major defeat, many candidates of the BJP in the Lok Sabha, the Bharatiya Janata Party took some course correction. In the course correction, what they did basically, in the Lok Sabha, many small caste of the OBC, they deserted them and they were voted against the BJP in the Lok Sabha. Therefore, Mahavikas Aghadi got the massive mandate in the Lok Sabha. The Bhupendra Patel, who is the central minister of the BJP, he was camped, almost more than a month in the Mumbai and in the Sagar, bungalow of the Devendra Fadnavis. And he called and held a small group community meeting of the OBC like Loha, Sutar, Chambar, all these community, made their WhatsApp group, made their, connect them with the leaders and provided them all kind of resources and make a, big chunk of the OBC in favor of them. Besides, the ruling party government, launched several welfare schemes like a Ladli Bahina scheme, Shravan Bar scheme, financial assistance to the farmer. Even Modi announced the 6,000 rate for the, soybean and the cotton farmer. Besides, they gave the flavor of the Hindutva, like cutting and butting ek hai to safe hai. So they fought this election in a multi-corner fight. They use all kind of tricks that is available in the books, and that is not also available in the books. This kind of tricks also they use in this election, and they made it election as a local election. I traveled across the Maharashtra and saw that this election was not like a national election or state election. I found that it is a local body or Gram Panchayat side sort of the election, and they use their managerial skill, they use their organizational skill, they use their micromanagement skill to get more number of votes in their favor, in Mahayuti favor. And in the Lok Sabha, the votes were not transferred among the Mahayuti alliance party, like Ajit Pawar not voted to the Devendra Fadnavis BJP and the Eknath Shinde. But they course corrected in this state assembly election. They held meetings of the all three parties workers and leaders and make them sure that you have to vote each other. We are coming back in the power. And he also extended all kind of resources to them. And that overall this totality, overall this management of the entire thing, the end result is very, very massive in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party and in favor of the Mahayuti. I see in 2014, Congress was not there. Still Congress got 40 seats. In 2019 also Congress got 44 seats. This time there was no such kind of decimation in the Congress. There was no such moral ground down of the Congress. But still Congress performed very badly because the Congress leader went here. Everybody thought that they will be the chief minister like Nana Patel to Bala Sahib Thora to Prithviraj Chauhan, and all are mostly trailing in their own respective constituency, and that is a big takeaway from this election.
Right. Let me go across to Ninad Seth once again. Ninad, what do you feel now about the future of the NCP and the Shiv Sena families, so to say? The Shiv Sena had been split Uh, the Shinde Sena faction has performed much better. If you speak about NCP, the Ajit Pawar faction has functioned much better. Sharad Pawar's faction has, in a way, performed poorly, and this is one of the worst performances for Sharad Pawar to date. What does this mean for NCP Sharad Pawar and the Uddhav Bal Thackeray Sena?
I think the legacy issue now comes. I think they have been finished. I mean, they have run into a truck headlong. The whole elections message is threefold. For Shiv Sena, the earlier belief that they could get away from their core ideology, from Bala Saheb Thakray's legacy, and yet be relevant, which was something they thought they had secularized, if you like, Bala Saheb legacy in the Lok Sabha election. That has not worked out. This has been a very massive defeat of those who have let go of their ideology. What do you stand for? What are you offering me is what the voter has voted for. Now, I would say that for both Shiv Sena as well as for the NCP, this election marks a turning point of even political relevance going forward. Going away from these two, going to what the election actually means for the BJP, I think it means three very interesting things. First, welfare schemes, when they reach the voter, when they give voter dignity, when the voter sees value in them, they will reward the party which is giving them the value. And this we have seen in Jharkhand as well. So welfare schemes are the new normal. Second, it is not just welfare schemes. There is a socio-political alliance at play. The Maratha vote, which had moved away from the BJP alliance during the Lok Sabha, seems to have come back, or seems to have split and joined the other OBCs who were already voting for the BJP. The real interesting point is the staggering extent of the victory. So this is a mandate which is which when that happens, it's usually a positive mandate. It is not a negative mandate. And in the context of anti-incumbency also not being there, it is doubly special. So it appears to me that Maharashtra has voted with a blank check for development, and it has also voted on the Hindutva issue. Please understand that batenge nahi, so katenge nahi has become a very important election winning slogan. The Hindu consolidation is a political reality.
All right, let me go across to Sudhir Suryavanshi. Sudhir, as far as the chief ministerial candidate now goes, Devendra Fadnavis is naturally going to demand the CM's post. The BJP has performed very well. They've crossed the 120 mark themselves. Eknath Shinde's camp is saying that Eknath Shinde should be the chief minister of Maharashtra because the election was fought in his name, so to say. How will the NDA, how will somebody like Amit Shah now accommodate conflicting interests within the alliance?
Parikshit, this is very interesting questions, and I will say that this is a $1 million questions now, because there is a very clear majority to Mahayuti. BJP is there. BJP is 125, 127. They are, still yet to get, 145. That is a simple majority mark. They have to get support of the Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar to form the government. That is the reality. But now, this is a big question for the BJP leadership as well, whether they want to go in the way of the Bihar, where the election was fought under the leadership of Nitish Kumar, and again he was made as the chief minister of the Bihar. Whether in Maharashtra also BJP goes in the Bihar way and make Eknath Shinde, under his leadership the election was fought, and the Mahayuti, because the Ladke Bahina and other schemes where his pet schemes and many pet projects were started. So Shinde was the face of this Mahayuti in this election. So now BJP makes him again the chief minister, and because Shinde has also got a 7 Lok Sabha member in his hand, so their support is also very crucial in the Delhi, in the parliament. So, but the thing is that in the BJP also there is a big churning. Devendra Fadnavis, who was chief minister of Maharashtra between 2014 to 19, then he was leader of opposition in 2019, then deputy CM in 2022. Now he is hoping that he will come back. If you remember his tagline, "Me Punna NR, I will come back again." I think he must be roaring in his mind with the tagline. Now it's depending upon his party leadership whether they make Devendra Fadnavis again the chief minister of Maharashtra, or they go with the Bihar pattern or formula, make Eknath Shinde as the chief minister, because they cannot afford to lose the Maharashtra, like where the financial city like Mumbai is here. many big projects are also, taking place in Maharashtra. So it's a very tricky situation for the BJP, which to whom to choose, Shinde or Devendra Fadnavis or somebody else. So that is, I think, the big turning will likely to happen in the Mahayuti. Eknath Shinde is already, having the meeting at his bungalow. Devendra Fadnavis also having the meeting at his, Sagar bungalow. Now the party leadership has to play the role. And as per my information, Amit Shah and Narendra Modi has already informed them. First of all, you have the meeting at the Mumbai, have some consensus. Then let me know. Then if there is differences arises, then they will play the role. Already, Fadnavis cap is asserting their position. The Darekar, Praveen Darekar has already said that Devendra Fadnavis will be next chief minister, while Eknath Shinde camp is saying that next chief minister will be Eknath Shinde because the election was fought under his leadership. Now it's a big and tricky situation for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
All right, tricky situation for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let me now go across to Ninad once again. Ninad, now the takeaway from this election is that the welfare schemes have won again. Fortunately or unfortunately, this is the way that election politics works in the country. Do you expect now the NDA to spend more on welfareism in different poll-bound states? And do you feel that even in the union budget, we are going to see a strong welfare push?
I think that the mandate is for what I call, deliverable dignity. And for that, of course, there will be a check to write. But I don't think there will be a welfareistic bent, because Maharashtra, bear in mind, is also an industrial state. Infrastructure development also plays a part. I mean, the circular road of Bombay and the Pune area development, etc., do matter as well. I personally think that the Prime Minister will continue, the Finance Minister will continue with a balance. The check will be written. It will be large, but it will not be overshadowing, I think, the development spending. Because there are other messages which have also led to the Maharashtra tsunami victory. So I personally think that, yes, there will be a larger welfare check, but I don't think it will overshadow India's, concentrated government spending on infrastructure development.
All right. Sudhir Suryavanshi, now what's the unfinished agenda? What do you expect the next NDA government, as and when it's sworn in, to do? And keep in mind its priorities, considering the vote banks and different groups in Maharashtra which voted them back to power, the farmers, the women, the industry. How do you expect them to take forward their agenda, and what would be some of their priorities immediately?
Parikshit, I think before the Mahayuti government, there will be big challenge. Because coming back in power, sometimes we say get the success is easy, but to maintain success is very difficult. And I can feel the same way. Because in the depth over the Maharashtra is almost 8.5 lakh crore, and already they have raised 1.5 lakh crore for the Lightly Bahina and other welfare scheme. So depth, total depth over the Maharashtra will be 10 lakh crore. And the salaries of the, government employees and other things will be major factor, because many teachers have not received their salaries. Many funds will be made for the other department, like agriculture department, many development department. That fund were diverted to the Ladli Bahina scheme, because more than 2 crore women were getting the benefit. Now to continue this scheme, not only continue with the 1,500 per woman, but 2,100, the amount they have already promised to increase. They have also promised the farmers they will buy and procure the soybean at the rate of 6,000 per quintal. They also promised that cotton will be buy as per the MSP. So big challenge, the financial. I feel that keeping the finance of the state and exchequer, maintain exchequer is a big challenge for this Mahayuti government. Of course, they have got the blessing, they have got support of the center government, because there are both same parties and same alliance government is in Delhi also, in Mumbai also. So that is a big relief. But the generating fund will be the big challenge for this UT government. Besides the unemployment is right. If you remember the Economic Advisory Council of the Prime Minister, Mr. Sanyal has submitted a report, and where they have said that Maharashtra GDP income and per capita income has been staggering, and it is happening first time in the last decade, in the last 60 years. And that is also a big challenge. The financial economic front will be the tough challenge. They may got massive victory, but the finance is very important. Otherwise, Maharashtra will go in a different way. Maharashtra can go to way of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh and Jharkhand, it can turn to the Bimaru state because already industrial growth, urbanized growth has been staggering in Maharashtra.
All right. Ninad, final question to you. On the Jharkhand election, it's quite clear that Hemant Soren is the man of the moment. Even here, we saw welfare schemes for women working very well. The tribal vote consolidated in favor of the India Alliance. Jairam Mahato was also one leader whom the BJP believes cut into their votes. Now, keeping in mind what's happened in Jharkhand, Maharashtra, what's the big cue for the Congress party and the opposition? The Congress will rejoice the fact that they've retained Jharkhand, the fact that they won Wayanad today. Priyanka Gandhi will now be hitting Parliament. But what's the big picture for the opposition?
I think the big picture for the opposition is that Jharkhand is a consolation victory, and also Jharkhand is not a victory for the Congress. It's a direct mandate for the JMM. The tribals have voted for their own people. Tribals have voted for their own empowerment. And there is also a skepticism about what BJP had promised about the outsiders, because for 10 years, there is a feeling that, BJP did rake up the issue of outsiders, which was a very important issue in Jharkhand. But the reason it did not have traction was that BJP's own track record for 10 years of tackling such problems has not been very good. For the opposition, especially for the Congress, I think the time to smell the coffee, I think the hangover of victory of the Lok Sabha elections or better performance of Lok Sabha elections is over. This issues that Rahul Gandhi has been raising, whether it's a caste census or whether it's some kind of some industrialists dominating, etc., that I think is now past its due date. The Congress really needs to do soul searching in local elections, have local issues, stick to those issues, have local leadership. For example, in JMM, even in Jharkhand, their local leadership is not very strong. It has not really performed too well. In Maharashtra, they have been decimated. So in my opinion, for Congress, it is time to go back to the drawing board. You must understand that BJP itself lost during the Lok Sabha elections. They need a course correction. Good political parties go down to the ground. They go down to the booth level. They understand what the voter wants and they change their policies. Public policies formed that way. But if you are a air-conditioned room guy with 7 advisors, then that doesn't happen because you do not have the funnel which gives you that advice to course correct. So I think the Congress, for the forthcoming UP elections, this is going to be a very, very important boost for the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. Please bear in mind, we have not discussed it today, but there were 9 by-elections in UP, out of which 7 have been won or retained or won by the BJP today as well. So I think that the new normal, which was a normal for 10 years of a nationalist, Hindu nationalist, progressive, economically progressive government is coming back. I think Modi has got that mandate that back in his favor. So the ball has turned the other way, and I think UP will be much easier for BJP now than it would have been without such a massive victory, for example, in Maharashtra.
That's an important point. Yes, the results in the by-polls in Maharashtra will give more political confidence to the BJP and NDA, both in the Lok Sabha and in future state elections, and possibly the policy making will get bolder as well. On that note, we'd like to thank all our reporters, Sudhir Suryavanshi and Ninad Seth, for joining us. It's been an excellent conversation. Keep tuning in to CNBC TV 18 and CNBCTV18.com for all the election updates.